What is going on, guys? Okay, we are celebrating. Happy hour early today.
It's an early
It's a
hour.
early happy hour. We solved a problem with our generator that we've been having for years now. Whenever the fuel would drop down close to a quarter of a tank, the generator would get an air bubble in the line, I assume, and we could not start the generator to the point where it ended up costing us a starter on our generator. Search as I could on the internet, I could not find it. I could not find somebody that had the same problem. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but I'm going to show you how we fixed it. So hang on real quick. We'll see you in a minute, guys. Bye-bye. So here's the problem that we were having. Whenever we would get down close to a quarter of a tank, the generator has a pickup tube that goes into the fuel tank that only goes down to a quarter of a tank. That way you can't, when you're out boondocking, you can't run yourself out of fuel running your generator. Problem is, it was taking us 15 minutes or more to get our generator running again. We ended up burning up the starter on the generator. I told Miss Karen, I said, I'm going to replace the fuel pump on the generator. I honestly did not know if this was going to fix the problem. So here you go.
So this is the suspected culprit right here. It's the fuel pump. And my guess is the old fuel pump is not putting out enough fuel. So we're going to replace that. The generator we're working on is a Onan Quiet diesel 7500. And we also need to do the oil and filter change. So we're going to go ahead and do that while we're at it. So hang on, guys.
Now there's two fuel lines going to the back of the generator. This one goes to the fuel tank and it goes into the fuel pump, and that's what I suspect is bad. This one is the fuel return line, and I need to test and see if my fuel pump may be bad. I'm going to test it from this one right here. Now I had this piece of hose that I'm going to put into this container right here, and we're going to have Miss Karen fill this up. There's only going to be a little bit of fuel that drips out of that return line, and I could pinch it off if I wanted to, but I know it's only going to leak for a minute until the fuel works its way down from here and just out, and then it's going to stop, which it pretty much has. So it's a little messy, but that's okay. Okay, Miss Karen is ready inside there. Let me see if I can get this cleaned off here. And she's going to press the prime side of that generator switch, and we're going to go ahead and see how much this actually gets in it. So, all right, go ahead. Yeah, it's kind of what I suspected. We got just a little bit right here. You can see it's kind of coming down in the hose, but not really. So you can see it's barely running. All right, go ahead and try it one more time. And we'll see if we can't at this point I can't really even get it to come into the bucket here. See if I can show you that. It's really nothing at all. So this should fill this bucket about halfway up for the 10 seconds that Miss Karen is holding that, and it really is not. So I am now pretty much convinced the fuel pump is bad on this thing. I already suspected it, so I already planned on replacing it. We're going to go after it and see if we can get it. So there's two bolts that hold our pump in. One is right here and one is right here. Obviously this is 3/8 steel. Now I could get a hole saw and actually drill that out so I can get at those bolts, but all we need to do is get out these 4 bolts at all the corners here, and I think I can pick up this whole generator and slide it forward about an inch is all I need to get at these bolts that are right here on the bottom of this fuel pump. So we're going to try that. First thing we got to do in this job is we got to see if we can't get the ground wire off. This one is clearly marked ground right there at the top, so we're going to go ahead and get this off. Alright, with the ground off, we can start working on the bolts on the bottom. Now what my plan is to lift the generator up and basically slide it forward on the tray just an inch so that I can get at those bolts for that fuel pump. Now I have a couple things I need to consider. I've got electrical lines and fuel lines. I have to make sure that if those need to be disconnected, if they're going to interfere with me moving this forward. So I'm looking all around the generator, including the exhaust pipe, which is right here. And it looks like I have about an inch that I can move this. So we should be okay on this without disconnecting the exhaust pipe. Now the next job is going to be trying to lift this really heavy generator and trying to get it forward on the slide out tray. So I may have a trick for that. We're going to try it. I don't know if it'll work or not. I just grabbed a small Wonder Bar and found out that I could lever this up, lift this up, and if I grab with my hands I can slide that forward about 1/4 of an inch at a time. All I need to do is about 4 times. I should have that far enough forward so I can reach those bolts. Alright guys, check that out. There's my 2 bolts. I need those out, and I'll be able to get that old fuel pump out of there, and we're almost done with this job. So I wrapped some electrical tape around a pair of vice grips that I've got, and I want to make sure that when I pinch off the fuel line, I don't damage the hose or the fuel line coming from the tank. It is and will gravity feed, so you do have to either cap or pinch off this line. I've always had good luck with pinching them off rather than worrying about going down to the store and buying a cap. But if you've got a cap to cap this off or a way to plug that line, yeah, go ahead and do that. So this typically works pretty good for me. Let's see if we can't get that capped off here. Okay, and just like that, I've got the line capped off. I've got to disconnect that line. So I got this off, guys. And that's working good. So it's pinching the line off. I don't have a lot of fuel draining out of there. And there's the back side of our fuel pump. This fitting actually unscrews from here. I may or may not take that out here. I suppose I could, and that'll help me get it out, but it'll slip out on the inside, so maybe we'll wait. We'll go inside. We're going to see if we can't get up from the inside here, get those bottom bolts out, and get that thing out of there. So I need to get the fuel filter out, and that's kind of why I was waiting on doing this job. I knew the generator was running and will run. It's just really hard to start whenever the fuel level goes below a quarter and you get that air bubble in the line. But I knew that I was going to have to disconnect my fuel filter to get at the pump. Might as well change the oil. So pretty much just waited until it was time to do a service. So let's go after that. And there it is, guys. It is out. Let's get the other one in. So let's talk fuel pumps for a minute. This is our old fuel pump right here, and you can see the Onan number right underneath there. All right. And this is our new fuel pump here. And you notice that it doesn't say Onan on it. That's because I kind of knew that Onan doesn't make fuel pumps. And the only difference between these two is this one has the Onan name on it. This one doesn't. This one has a little shorter wires than this one, which I don't believe that's going to play into any problem down the road. And this one has a foam gasket on it. We're just going to swap that over to this side. And then the big thing is this one is about $135 and this one was about $32. So do your shopping. It is a low pressure oil fuel pump, and sometimes you have to do some searching. There's no reason to spend that much money on it. We're going to go ahead and put that back in the coach. So there you go, guys. And we'll get that tightened on. Let some fuel go there, and I can take my clamp off of the fuel line. But we're also going to retest our fuel pump. Let's do a test. All right, so we're going to try the same test with the new fuel pump. Got the line all hooked up. Let's give it a shot here. Got Miss Karen up above, and she's gonna turn this on for us here. Okay, honey. Now that is a lot more fuel, and that's what it should be kicking out right there. So this is a low pressure, but that's exactly what we're looking for. So all we have to do now is get some oil in it, and we can get it running and see how it does. So hang on, guys. Okay. There you go. We are celebrating, guys. I am not an Onan mechanic, but I play one on TV. All right. I say that because I have no idea. I just decided, you know what, we're going to go after this and see if I can do it. And it was easier than I thought. And now we are celebrating because we're going to go and turn on the generator for you. I will be honest with you, I started it off camera just to make sure that it started. It started right up, and we're going to walk over there now, and hang with me, guys. We'll walk over here. Normally what would happen at this point, because we've replaced the fuel filter, there's air all in the lines, this thing would not run for nothing. And it would take us 15 minutes or more to get it started. Here you go, guys. And there you go.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Is that not a wonderful sound or what? We are so happy, and I actually have to shut it off. We'll shut it off, but there you go. Could not find it on the internet. I checked forums. I couldn't find anybody that had the same problem that we had, and I couldn't find anybody who had replaced their own fuel pump. It ended up being really easy. It really was not that hard to do. I was dreading it. Honestly, guys, when I started this morning, I really didn't know how this was going to turn out. It had a great turnout. It turned out great, right? Yes. And we couldn't be more thrilled. So now we have a generator that starts right up, and it's celebrate time. So we started our happy hour early. Let's go have another drink, honey. All right. All right, guys, we're going to say goodbye for this one anyway. If you're having the same problem, put a comment down in the section below if you have any questions about doing it. You know what? I can offer whatever suggestions I can. So if I see your comments in the comments below, I'll be happy to help out. Send an email to us, and I'll do what I can, but I'll tell you, if we didn't have any problem, I got it. I'm so thankful to get it. Can you tell how happy I'm? Very happy. Very happy. All right, guys, it's happy hour.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Oh, look at all my tools out. Oh, yeah, I still have to put the tools away, so I guess the job isn't done yet, right? But I can do that after I have a drink. It's not dangerous or anything, so I'm going for it.
I'm already there.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye. GoPro, stop recording.